Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we always love talking about Memphis Botanic Garden and their Live at the Garden concert series. That's why we're honored to have with us Olivia Wall, Director of Marketing and Communications with the Memphis Botanic Garden, and also Jamison Totten, Director of Live at the Garden and Radians Amphitheater. How are you two doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great. We're glad to be here.
Well, we have a lot of good to talk about when you talk about 25 years, the anniversary for Live at the Garden, all the amazing concerts and the history and legacy there, and obviously Memphis Botanic Garden. And so let's start, though, for those who haven't been able to see the amazing Memphis Botanic Garden. Olivia, give us a little background on that, and then we'll talk all about Live at the Garden.
Fantastic. Absolutely. If you have not been, Memphis Botanic Garden is an oasis in the heart of the city. We have 30 specialty gardens over 96 acres. We have a 2.5-acre children's garden. We have a rich and diverse programming for students as well as adults, continuing education. The list goes on and on. Year round, we have events. So whether you want to go on a tree walk or you want to see some Christmas lights, we've got you covered. And something we're super proud of, last year we opened our youth education and tropical plant house, which is a jungle. You can come in year round. It is, right now it's a jungle out in Memphis too, right? But in the winter when it gets a little colder, keep that in mind when you're freezing and you just need a break. Like, you can come on out and kind of experience a little bit of magic year round. That's what makes the Botanic Garden so special, is we have all these great things and we have all these really unique things. And I think Live at the Garden is one of those. I think it's really special and there's a lot of magic behind it. There's not many places in the entire country you can really do something like this.
Yeah, and to your point, we had a chance to tour when you talk about the tropical plants, and absolutely a beautiful area. And then to your point, so many natural areas that just have their own sort of kind of culture, atmosphere, experience. And so you can walk through and feel like you're in complete different worlds with each area of the Memphis Botanic Garden. I think there's just so many areas to appreciate and enjoy with your family and coworkers, and just there's something literally for everyone. And then obviously, as you mentioned, all the special events too. Talk about 25 years and what Live at the Garden means to Memphis Botanic Garden.
25 years, a quarter of a century. I've been here for 24 of those here. I came in the second year. My first show, Ray Charles, legendary, pretty cool show. The money that we make from Live at the Garden right now is our biggest contributor to the bottom line here, and that helps 40,000 children a year come in here. It helps us support everything else, that the plants and the court and all that stuff. So we're really an earned revenue based garden, and Live at the Garden really helps in that. And for 25 years has put a lot of effort and to making this happen, from where we used to be on the other side of the garden on the Great Lawn to where we are now on the Jim Duncan stage and the permanent stage for the past 10 years. That's really made an impact on everything.
Give us an idea of the logistics, because when you talk about the number of tables and how those are sold, you've got sponsorships, you have lawn seating. So talk about some of those main logistics that make Live at the Garden happen.
So the tables, we're fortunate to have a renewal system that is probably almost every table renews every year. We have a 400-person wait list for those tables. When somebody bows out of a table, we can go down that list and just fill that table right in. There are 312 tables and about 2,700 people in that section. So we have a built-in ticket base already. So when we go to sell tickets, and we do, sponsorships are a huge part of all this. When we go to sell tickets, that's, a lot of that is going straight to the bottom line as far as some of these shows go. But the setting up those tables, we start in January Just going over the past season, thinking about things that we can do for new season, if we have to raise prices on anything, or if we're keeping things the same, logistics on things, setting stuff up is one of the big things that you need to do to make sure that each show runs smoothly, setting up for the season, and then before each show, reminding everybody to show up and what they're doing. But it's a lot of work for a great cause. It takes us about once we get it all set up, it takes us about 4 days to set up, and it takes us about half a day to take down. So it's really big on the setup, and it makes the takedown take really easy.
We'll start discussing the lineup here in a second. You've already had, Third Eye Blind, and so we'll talk about just that as a fun recap. But when you look at just the, parking, the gates open, I know gates open 5:30, show starts at 8, and, we always like to get there around 6:30, so you have plenty of time to enjoy everybody's company. But talk about some of those basic logistics from an experience standpoint for the audience coming in.
So in past years, we've opened the gates at 6, and it depends on if it's a Friday and it's a work night. People are a little slower to get there, but on a Saturday, we get a line that's pretty long. We've had a line when we started open at 6 from our main gate to Perkins before, and that's quite a bit. So we thought that this year we try open it at 5:30 to try to get some people in faster, and that really worked well. And then it's sometimes it's a little bit longer than most places will be open before the main act starts. But here, people come, they meet their friends, they set up their tables. The people on the lawn set up, and they have places where they always sit, and they have neighbors where they always visit. It really is. A lot of people come because of the experience, and they don't even care who's on the stage, even though that's a big thing. But they love the experience of visiting with their friends in the community that we have here at Live at the Garden.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I love what I do is I'm not selling tickets. I am here trying to share this community space with folks and get folks out to experience that magic on the lawn under the stars. We see it as a really big the best ever garden party. You're right next to the lake. You've got a beautiful setting. There's plants all around you, and you can really spread out, hang out, have fun, talk to your neighbors, eat some good food, drink some good drinks, and then you finish the night with a really awesome band or two. So it's definitely a win-win, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, it's an experience. And to your point, it's a who's who of people coming out and enjoying the experience. And the sound is amazing. The setting is beautiful. And so it really is a special opportunity. Let's go ahead and dive in because you had Third Eye Blind, obviously. You've got Parker McCollum. You've got Darius Rucker, ZZ Top, Steve Miller Band. So talk about overall what goes into creating a lineup, because I know you all want, diversity in terms of the bands and the performers and acts that you bring in, but talk about it from that overall standpoint, and then let's go ahead and start teasing the lineup.
Yeah. So we start out early with a wish list and who's available out there. And the market for talent buying has gotten to the point where it's very expensive, and as a nonprofit, we can't afford to pay bands like the Forum does. So we're kind of in a little niche market here, and that's why the table sales and of the season sales and the atmosphere really helps us. So we think about stuff like that. We really try to diversify our lineup every time. It doesn't always work like that. Some people, people think you can just go out and say, hey, I want to pick this, and this. It doesn't work like that. We spend a lot of time trying to choose the best artist, and you may have someone that says, all right, we're on the hook. Let me think about it. And all of a sudden they come back, we can't do it right now. And then you got to scramble and find somebody else. I can remember a year crossing our fingers and holding our breath for the last act to confirm 2 weeks before our premiere party, which is a little nerve-wracking. But yeah, so a lot of work goes into that. And also some of these bigger country acts or bigger acts have a lot of production that they bring with them that, that's something to consider too, because we can't always fit in an arena show where we are with the tables and thrusts like that. So we have to work really closely with the production managers to figure out the best fit for the Botanic Garden and the Jim Duncan stage at the Radians Amphitheater.
Yeah, I mean that's I think all the kind of logistics like playing Tetris. It's budget, it's their concert, schedule and where does it fit in? It's all the, the scaffolding and all the special effects and the things that they want to bring in too. Like everything has to kind of fit. And so to your point, it's a lot of just making sure that all the pieces are aligned to be able to come out with the perfect lineup. And so go ahead and tease us because you've got some big shows. You look at Darius Rucker, been here before, always puts on an amazing show, huge fan base. You've got ZZ Top, Steve Miller Band. So go ahead and dive into this year's lineup in terms of what's still on the docket.
Well, as you mentioned, we kicked off our concert series with Third Eye Blind, and what was super excited about that is their support act was Joy Bomb, which actually is a local alternative band here. So we were so excited to be able to bring, a members of our community up there and spotlight them and give them a place to really celebrate their music. So that was very, very exciting kickoff for us. And then we roll into Parker McCullen. He's got special guest Vincent Mason. He's super hot right now. I think folks are going to be very excited. His new album drops pretty shortly. So that's super exciting as well. So it's definitely going to be a great show. Darius Rucker, is coming with special guest Austin Williams. And Darius, we love Darius here. And so I think everyone's so excited about that. He is just so phenomenal, whether you're a Hootie fan or you're just a Darius fan or both. It's going to be a great show as it always is. So that's super exciting. September 6th, ZZ Top we're super excited. They're bringing special guest, the band Feel. So that should be a really great show. And then finish off September 19th with Steve Miller Band. We couldn't ask for a better, end of the show and the season. It's going to be fantastic.
When you look at someone like Darius, I've got to believe there's a strong relationship, right? Like to your point, everybody loves him. He's got so many hits. You look at Hootie and the Blowfish and obviously him as a solo act and artist, amazing and just the energy, the love. But I've got to believe too, over time, you get to build a relationship where it's like, hey, Darius, like, come on, like we want to bring you back. And I've got to imagine he probably loves playing it too. So talk about the feedback you have a chance to get from the artists.
So, Darius will be his third time here as Darius, and then he was here with Hootie in the Blowfish back in with like 2008 or 7. But the whole production crew is pretty much the same crew that he's had, and that is really the production that makes him work and the best. He's fun to hang out with backstage. He's a super nice guy. Everybody's very nice on that tour. It's all a big family for them. And we're just happy to have them back whenever we can get them. They come back and we tell jokes about this and that and the other. Like, remember this when the time you were here with Woody Harrelson? And, that was pretty funny. That was a good show.
For each of you, when you look back 25 years for Live at the Garden, obviously supporting Memphis Botanic Garden, you can't pick your favorite, but just give me one special memory that stands out with, either a band or an experience. So give me one special moment for each of you over time for what you've experienced with Live at the Garden. Okay,
so mine is Lionel Richie. That was a huge production show. My nephew is really, really likes Lionel Richie, and he is into plays, and he really performs well. And one of his first things that he auditioned with is Lionel Richie's song. So I told Lionel Richie's manager that I got to tell you the story. And we were back there. And so my brother and my nephew came down the show, and we were able to meet Lionel, and Lionel couldn't be more gracious and make sure that my nephew got a picture with him. And the lighting was great. And he went out of his way to be very special to my nephew. And that really meant a lot to me.
Olivia, what about you? What's one special memory or moment for you?
I'm going to go Earth, Wind, and Fire. They finished off my first concert series here, which was 2021, and it was our final show, and it was a little bit later because of COVID, so it was late October, so it was a little chillier, and they just put on this phenomenal thing, and I wore a sequin kimono. I looked ridiculous, but it was fantastic. But guess what? Everybody else was pretty much also wearing sequins of some sort, so it was great, and it was my first time of actually going into the pit and being able to see some songs in there. So it was just a really wonderful show and a really good way for me to be like, hey, you know what? This is awesome. I love this. Yay.
Well, and so many of them, just like you're talking about with Lionel Richie, Earth, Wind and Fire, like even Third Eye Blind. I know that, so many people were like very impressed with just how nice the musicians are and how, appreciative they were. And so it just really endears them, obviously the audience in Memphis, but, on both sides, it just makes it a really special experience. And so I love that. I love the aspect, love Live at the Garden, obviously, and Memphis Botanic Garden. So wrap up with where we can go to learn more. So where do we go to obviously, find the concert lineup? Where do we go to buy the lawn seats? Where do we go to get memberships? Because I know that's a big piece, Olivia, obviously, for supporting Memphis Botanic Garden year round. So talk about where we can go to carry this conversation forward and support your efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. The best place is to head to our website, membg.org. Right on that homepage, you're going to see a nice, awesome picture of the concerts, and you can click a button that says Learn More. If once you've learned more and you have all the concert info you need off that website, head back to membg.org, and you can sign up for a membership there. You can come by any day. We're open daily from 9 to 6, unless it's a concert day, and then we close at 3. And you can stop by. We have information. You can talk to our wonderful frontline staff. We've got pamphlets. And also know that if you're not really sure, you've never been here before, you can come to the garden, come in the day, and then if you decide you love it, we can make sure that, and you sign up for a membership as you're leaving, we can then prorate the membership. So that's definitely something to know. So if you want to come, check it out, walk around, you can still do that.
Yeah, and I think from my vantage point, I mean, you definitely, if you have not been to Memphis Botanic Garden, you owe it to yourself and your family to go and enjoy it, experience it. And then if you likewise have not been to Live at the Garden, you owe it to yourself to experience it and enjoy it and be able to celebrate with the thousands of people that are out there enjoying those concerts. So Olivia, Jamison, thank you for all you and your amazing teams do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.